Hello and welcome to Confetti Chat. My name's James from James Douglas Films, though lots of people call me Doug. This is Frankie from Pink Photographics. Nobody calls her Pink, I don't think. This isn't do's and don'ts with your wedding. This isn't 6 hacks for brides 2023. This is Confetti Chat. This is us chatting. Today's subject is photography, and Frankie is a wedding photographer with lots of expertise, so I'm going to let her talk first. Go.
So I would always say when you're picking your photographer, look at all of their work. Have a look at more than one gallery and see what sort of style you like.
Where are you looking? Are you going Instagram? Are you going websites? Are you Googling?
Everything. Look at their Insta, look at their websites. Although don't look heavily on Insta because people like me aren't that good at it at the moment. But if you do look at the Insta and go, oh, I quite like their style, message me and I can send you more work. Always get in contact with us and see if you click with us. See what I did there?
No,
if you click with us. Because if you think about it, the photographer and videographer, they're the people that you're going to spend all of your day with. You're going to see more of us than you are in your other half. So if you don't get on with us and we don't get on with you, then there's a lot of awkwardness.
I think I would agree with that. The photographers that I've worked with, obviously I've worked with you a lot and I've worked with loads of others, the ones that seem to get the best images are the ones that put the couple at ease, the ones that make them feel comfortable, the ones that they have a relationship with on a personal level rather than just picking straight off of the images. Obviously, if you found someone's work who you just thought, I've got to have that person. And you probably have just got to have that person, but know what you're getting. Know the type of person that comes behind that lens. That I think there's also a risk with picking people on images alone, because you don't really know how much time and effort's gone into creating just that image.
Yes.
So
100%.
If you've got styled shoots, if you've got styled wedding shoots or a hired in model couple, and a lot of time to get the lighting perfectly organised and all of those things, you can end up with really beautiful images.
But at the end of the day, it's just one image, isn't it?
It's one image, and a wedding isn't just one image.
No.
The day moves fast, and you've got to be able to get images.
And you need to be able to trust that photographer. Because if you just see that one image and you think that all of their work is going to be consistent to that one hero image, it's not. Because obviously weddings are all different, lighting's different, the pace of a wedding is completely different to a shoot, like you said. So you need to be able to see a variety of that person's work so you can see if it's the style and the kind of thing that you want to represent your wedding. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Do you think there is any value in people looking for a photographer before they've got their venue? Or do you think, I think about couples and I would assume that they nail down a date and a venue first and then a photographer. Is there any value in going, actually, I'm going to start this search straight away, or do you think people should be waiting?
You could always, I think, start searching straight away. As soon as you start planning a wedding, start searching all of your suppliers, because there are so many photographers and so many different styles, and some photographers are happy to travel, some will only do locally. So if you're having a look, even if you find the photographer whose work you love, if then you find out that they don't cover that area that you're going to be getting married in, or if they don't do destination photos or anything like that, then you can always then think, well, this is a style I want. Let's now compare them to other photographers in that style, or the photographer that you wanted originally. If they can't do it, they can then say, well, here's a selection of people that I know, I trust, that work in the same way to me, and they've always got their recommendations that way.
What about, just thinking about wedding venues that have like a recommended supplier list?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good filter? Do you think that couples should start their search there, or do you think they should just, I'm just thinking about from a couple's point of view, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to Google wedding photography, or do I find my venue and then speak to the venue and go, who do you recommend? Or do they speak to their friends and go, who do they recommend? What do you think about the...
The problem with recommended suppliers is that it's not always the suppliers that are the best fit for the venue or that the best fit for you as a couple. It could be that the venue says, I'm going to have, say, 5 recommended photographers, but you all have to pay to be on that recommendation list, or they're just friends of the people that run the venue, or that they're just the photographers that have asked to be on the list. There's no set way of vetting people to be part of that recommendation list. And because you've been recommended doesn't mean that you're the best person for that job. You could have, a photographer that's not on any recommendation lists at all, but are absolutely amazing. But because they've not been recommended by that venue, you're not necessarily going to have heard of them. So I think that, by all means, do go to the venue and say, have you got any suppliers that you would recommend? And work from that, but don't just stick to that list. I would say do a Google search, speak to friends and family, go to wedding fairs, that type of thing, where you'll be able to get to meet people and get recommendations from first-hand people.
Wedding fairs you just mentioned, obviously,
Yes.
There's loads of those. That's a good place to talk and see products, see images and see albums. What's your opinion on albums? Do you physical copies over digital galleries?
I have different packages. So I have like the basic package that just comes with a USB with all your photos on it, as well as an online gallery, which you can download the photos from. But then I also have packages that have albums included in the prices, or you can add the albums onto additional packages if you wanted them. I find that most people do like having a physical representation of their photos rather than just an online gallery. It's lovely to be able to send that little link out to their friends and family, easy way of them seeing them, but it's nice for them to actually have a physical album and have something that they can go and take to their, go and show their nana, or, put on their shelf and then look back on every now and then. It's like watching their wedding film. They can sit and watch that. It's nice having a physical.
I like physical photos.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing that is nice to have. And obviously, if you've got like that one amazing hero shot to put up on the wall, is quite nice on the day that you're meant to look the best you've ever looked.
Exactly.
Probably that's probably going to be the time. As a supplier, I think it's interesting to offer things, to offer discounts, offer add-ons like free engagement shoots. These sort of enticements to get couples to want to book you more, or make you appear more attractive.
Yeah.
My concern with those is that you are underselling yourself, where you think, well, actually, my work is good enough.
Yeah, these are my prices because this is what I'm worth and this is the current market. And you need to, as a supplier, you need to know your worth, don't you?
Yeah.
But also be realistic about things. That obviously I'd love to charge, $3-4 grand per wedding, but that's not going to happen. So I've got realistic prices, and if I start then saying, say, £200 off for the next booking, this sort of discount here, 25% off, blah, 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 it then sort of, I think it's unfair on us as suppliers and previous couples as well, because they've paid this money that we've set our own prices, they've paid this money. So then find out that someone's getting this exactly the same package, but for a discounted price. I don't think it's fair on anybody, really. Yeah.
Find the supplier you want. Find the photographer you're happy with. Find the images that you fall in love with. The images that resonate with you. Be that on Instagram but remember, there's great photographers out there that aren't all over Insta. That's not
that'd be me.
There's loads of great photographers that don't necessarily put their work out there, and they just rely on their own website. So find via website, find via friends, family, but then always make that connection before you just go ahead and book.
Yes.
Like, always speak to them, always talk to them. Open a dialogue up about pricing if it's out of your budget.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.